in the lower body of a woman where offspring are conceived and in which they gestate before birth. Technically, it is the uterus. And this is the fetus, life in the making. This is continuity. This is propagation. This is the desire of every living species to pass on life from one generation to the next, till eternity. The question is that for the sake of this primordial urge for continuity, can the womb be considered a commodity, a machine where babies get made, a machine whose ownership can be bought or sold, a machine whose price can be fixed as per the requirements of demand and supply?
In the past, when a couple could not conceive, they could only adopt. But now, the options for infertile couples are far more varied. With advances in medical technology, there are now assisted reproductive techniques, and with donor insemination and embryo transfer methods having become common, surrogacy is in demand. Surrogacy is when one woman carries pregnancy and gives birth to a baby for another woman. This woman may or may not be the child's genetic mother. Surrogacy is a process that is legal in India as in some other countries. What is being debated, however, is the commercialization of the process. In 1984, the world saw the first successful birth through gestational surrogacy. 10 years later, in Chennai, this happened for the very first time in India. In 1997, for the first time, an Indian acted as a gestational carrier and got paid for it in order to obtain medical treatment for her paralyzed husband. With the exchange of money for bearing a surrogate child, the use of the surrogate woman's womb gets paid a rent, and the child to be born becomes a saleable commodity. Commercial surrogacy is estimated to be a $2 billion industry in India. A bill will be tabled in the Indian Parliament in the winter session seeking to ban commercial surrogacy. The aim being also to preserve so-called traditional family values.
जो दंपति इस तरह का बच्चा चाहता है, सरोगेट चाइल्ड, वो कानूनी रूप से विवाहित होना चाहिए, शादीशुदा होने चाहिए आपस में। अविवाहित को अनुमति नहीं होगी, सिंगल पेरेंट की अनुमति नहीं होगी, लिव इन रिलेशनशिप की अनुमति नहीं होगी, होमोसेक्सुअल कपल्स को अनुमति नहीं होगी। कानूनी रूप से मेल एंड फीमेल लीगली वेडेड कपल्स को ही ये अनुमति दी जाएगी।
In recent years, India has even become a popular destination for foreign citizens to come and have surrogate children. Surrogacy costs $200,000 in the US. In Ukraine, it costs $60,000. In Georgia, it is $50,000. In Thailand, it costs $45,000. But in India, the cost is $30,000 US. The primary concern of those campaigning against commercial surrogacy is that it is a poor woman's body that is being exploited by the rich. Union Minister Sushma Swaraj, while announcing the bill, came out strongly against celebrities having children through surrogacy. Bollywood star Aamir Khan and his wife Kiran Rao have had a baby through surrogacy, and so has Tushar Kapoor, who is in fact a single parent. The minister's ire, however, was directed towards Shah Rukh Khan and his wife Gauri, who are rumoured to have had their third child through surrogacy.
मुझे दुख है ये बात कहते हुए कि जो चीज जरूरत के नाम पर शुरू की गई थी वो अब शौक बन गई है। कितने ही ऐसे उदाहरण हमारे सामने और बड़ी सेलिब्रिटीज के हैं जिनका अपना बच्चा एक नहीं दो दो हैं और बेटा और बेटी दोनों हैं, तो भी उन्होंने सरोगेट चाइल्ड किया है।
Many call surrogacy in India a baby-making factory. But for many, it is also a blessing, a chance to have an offspring of their own, to carry forward their DNA or the family name.
In Latin, surrogatus means a substitute, that is, a person who is appointed to act in the place of another. As per legal definitions, surrogacy means the process of carrying and delivering a child for another person. The dictionary defines surrogacy as the process where a woman bears a child for a couple who are unable to produce children in the usual way. There are two types of surrogacy arrangements: altruistic surrogacy, where the surrogate mother does not receive any financial benefit for carrying the child, and commercial surrogacy, where the surrogate mother is financially rewarded for the use of her womb. And this is where the law has stepped in and set boundaries.
Law and surrogacy share a troubled relationship. Earlier, it was the complete absence of any regulations that led to exploitation of many surrogate women, and now, in a drastic step, the cabinet has cleared a bill that outlaws commercial surrogacy. The recently proposed Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill prohibits any commercial surrogacy and allows only altruistic surrogacy within the family. Singles, homosexuals, and live-in couples cannot go for surrogacy. No wonder this new bill of the government has received criticism from various quarters.
It seems to be protecting only the same old patriarchal notions of marriage, chastity, honor, etc., without doing very much to address the very real problems that commercial surrogates may face. A complete ban on surrogacy altogether is at least more logically consistent than what you have in India, which is frankly so full of internal inconsistencies that I would be very surprised if the court doesn't strike it down on a number of Article 14 violations, that is, arbitrary distinctions that the bill draws. Like I said, whether it is between married and unmarried couples, the requirement that a person has to have been married for 5 years before she can be a surrogate, where this requirement is coming from and how it is expected to protect anybody is anyone's guess. The requirement that a surrogate should have already given birth to a healthy child. Again, why, if somebody does not want to have a child or raise a family of her own but is willing to be a surrogate, then how is this bill helping anybody? You know, and lastly and quite importantly, that the surrogate has to be a person who is not getting paid and is somebody in the close family. Both of these are extremely problematic. It's a huge burden that a person carries, and why shouldn't they be monetarily compensated for it? And secondly, you know, anonymity is something that a lot of families would seek when commissioning a surrogate. That's not really something that is available when it is a close relative.
Though feminists have strongly criticized the current move of the government, calling it regressive, government says that to simplify this complex issue would be distortion of the larger questions of human rights. And most importantly, it is the rights of the child that one must bear in mind.
It's not a question always of a choice A, and B, when the choice of one infringes on the choice of the other. That is to say, let us say the right of a mother, surrogate mother, vis-a-vis the rights of a child, vis-a-vis the rights of the family, vis-a-vis the rights of the state. So this is where the broad paraphernalia of the entire discussion comes, and I think we have to be very conscious that in this case, surrogacy was not a natural right. Surrogacy is something which has come into being because of various inventions, because of various innovations in science, and therefore has become a possibility of sorts. But ultimately the issue is one of the stakes principally of safeguarding in the first instance the child's being, and not only the child-bearing part. You're talking about the child being brought up in a family, you're talking about the child's rights qua the family, the rights of a child to be loved, Can a pro-choice of a so-called feminist viewpoint for a woman actually stand above the rights of that child who was born and has a right to be brought up in a way that he is supposed to be brought up? So this conflict has to be resolved, and that's why I say a regulatory law. Today's law is a regulatory law. Earlier you had surrogacy basically in principle being talked about. You had various guidelines which were scientific guidelines, ICMR, etc., which discussed this, but didn't really lay down the various rights and liabilities arising out of such a relationship and to what extent it is permissible.
But the dilemmas are not just entwined legally and morally. And worse, Sushma Swaraj has justified the present bill by calling commercial surrogacy against our cultural ethos. Experts within the government concede that the inconsistencies of the bill must be addressed and it must be brought in sync with the adoption laws of India.
Pro-choice has to be very careful. Pro-choice has to be always met with pro-rights. Here you are coming up against in issues which involve human rights and issues which are sacrosanct. Wherever childbearing is involved, it cannot be limited to a commercial relationship which everybody has a choice to choose. It's not a contract only which is to be considered. Single parent issue is one thing which might need to be looked at a little more. The 5-year marriage, now that has a basis to it. The point again is you want the child who is born out of a relationship, outside natural relationship, to be coming up in a family where the family is a secure family. So the idea of the 5 years is only to ensure stability of the family and nothing more and nothing less. Whether you think 5 years is good enough or 2 years should be it, that may be another question mark. But by and large the debate really revolves on the fact that you need to have a marriage or whatever near marriage relationship that you have, which is a secure relationship into which a child born by means of an artificial method would actually come in.
The big question is, should laws be framed by keeping women's rights over their own body in mind, or the state must step in to protect the rights of the unborn child? Is choice merely an illusion for underprivileged women who have absolutely no awareness of their medical and legal rights? While experts within the government believe that the bill will see further tweaks, but commercial surrogacy will be outlawed very soon, affecting the lives of thousands of women, either for better or worse, only time will tell.
Surrogacy is also business, and Western couples needing babies have been making a beeline for Indian shores. The country's popularity is soaring because of cheap medical facilities, advanced reproductive technological know-how, and of course, poor socio-economic conditions. The sad reality is that most of the women undertaking these assignments come from lower income groups. They are married, they have their own children, and they are in dire need of money.
For the present, Anand is synonymous to surrogacy in India. This clinic in Anand currently houses around 60 surrogate mothers, all pregnant with hope for a better future for themselves and their families.
मकान लेना है, जो मकान लेने के अंदर होता है ना, वो हम नहीं कर पा रहे थे. मकान लेना है इसके लिए करा है. जो थोड़ा बहुत लोन का होएगा वो कर लेंगे, लोन लेके मकान तो ले लेंगे. जो हर हमको 6 महीने पे 8 महीने पे मकान खाली करना पड़ता है वो तो नहीं करना पड़ेगा.
Advocates of surrogacy argue that surrogacy agreements are beneficial for both parties involved, as the needs of two women are met. They are about autonomy and free choice. One gets a child and the other betters her life with the finances. Statistical data from Anand and elsewhere point to cases of repeated surrogacy, because once a woman in financial need undergoes surrogacy, she sees it as a viable option to ease her financial burden.
घर पे 3 बच्ची है, लड़कियां हैं. पहली बार तो मकान लेना था तो लेके बाहर की पार्टी थी तो लेके गए. वो लड़की दी थी. उस दिन 5.5 लाख पेमेंट हुआ था. अच्छा हुआ था. फिर दोबारा में वो लोन तो ख़त्म करनी पड़ेगी ना. हफ्ते में जितना हफ्ता भरने पड़े वो भरते, लेकिन दोबारा बनने आए तो जितना पेमेंट हो उतना कम भी थोड़ा उसमें लगा जाए तो कम हो जाए ना हफ्ते का. इसलिए भी साइज के और थोड़ा बच्चे के भी लिए, फ्यूचर के लिए भी करने के लिए.
Health workers and NGOs worry that the surrogates may not be fully aware of the potential health risks they face when they undergo these procedures. This, despite their claims on camera to have understood the legalities involved as well as the risks that come with undergoing artificially induced pregnancy.
और कोई ज़बरदस्ती नहीं, कोई ज़बरदस्ती नहीं। आए तो मैं आई, सब अच्छे से चेकअप उकअप मैडम करवा देती, 2-3 डॉक्टर के पास सबसे राय लेते हैं।
But the same numbers also point to another reality. These are women whose options at earning a living are limited. Compared to being a maid or a daily laborer, the earnings as a surrogate mother are many times higher and with lesser apparent physical toil involved.
मेरे को है ना, मेरी सहेली ने बताया था, वो यहाँ पर लेकर आती है सरोगेट को, बीच में भी लेके आती है, सरोगेट में भी लेकर आती है। तो उसने बताया था मेरे को, बोले बहुत परेशान हूँ, बोले कि तो इतनी हैरान रहती है, उनके भाड़े भर भर के कंटाल गई अब तो मैं। तो बोले एक बार तू सरोगेट बन जा तो तेरे बोले मुश्किल आसान हो जाएगी। फिर यहाँ आए तो यहाँ पे मैडम ने बोला हाँ चलो।
परेशानी मुझे बहुत परेशानी था। खाने तक का ठिकाना नहीं था मुझे। एक टाइम खाओ तो एक टाइम नहीं खाओ। बुरे को पढ़ाने के लिए पैसे नहीं है, अब क्या करें? खाने का आफत है तो पढ़ाए कैसे? भाड़ा भरने का पैसा नहीं, किसी से लिया भर दिया, वो मांगे तो कहाँ से दूँ? ऐसा समझो कि ये बहुत अजीब किस्म से मेरा पूरा घर का ये हो गया था। पहनने तक का ढंग का कपड़ा भी नहीं रहे। जहाँ काम करने जाऊँ ना मैं नौकरी, वहाँ से कोई कपड़ा दे तो बच्चे को पहनाऊँ, तो त्योहार पे भी खुद का कपड़ा मैं खरीद के नहीं पहना सकती, इतनी परेशानी। तो जब से यहाँ आई ना तब से शुक्र है अल्लाह का, कोई परेशानी नहीं। मेरा कितना मिला था, 2 था ना, तो यहाँ की पार्टी वाली थी ना, इसके लिए मेरे को पेमेंट कम मिला। तो 434 मिला ना, तो इसमें से 8.25 तो कर्जा दिया, फिर बच्चे का जो फीस उस था वो सब भरे। ऐसे करते पैसे मेरे बचे नहीं, मकान गिरवे रखे। फिर मैं बोली दूसरी बार आऊँगी तो फिर भाड़ा कब तक भरूँ मैं? ये पैसे आएंगे तो घर बना लेंगे और थोड़ा बच्चे लड़की के नाम फिक्स कर दूँगी, बाकी कमा के खाऊँगी। खाना पीना टीवी उवी सब पंखा, ऐसा आराम मिलता है, ऐसा तो घर पे कभी ख्वाब में भी नहीं सोचा था मैंने कि ऐसा आराम यहाँ मिलेगा। अब सोचती हूँ कि अभी 1-1.5 महीने के बाद जाऊँगी तो घर पे कैसे रहूँगी? वही छोटा मकान, एक रूम में रहती हूँ, भाड़े से 1500 रुपया भाड़ा भरती हूँ। एक ही चीज़ समझो कि खाटला आ जावे ना, बस इतना है, उसी में पकाने का ना उसी में रहने का, दोनों बच्चे को लेके।
The journey is in no way easy for the women who agree to become surrogates. Clinics mandate that the women stay by themselves in the surrogate residences for the duration of the pregnancy. Their own children become mere visitors for these 9 months. So there's an impact on the emotional and mental state of surrogate mothers. Added to this may be the trauma of almost instant separation from a newborn, even as the woman's body naturally gears up to rear the child.
दे सकते ना, उनका औलाद है तो उनको देना पड़ेगा ना। अपने ज़्यादा प्यार करेगा तो फिर कैसा होगा? फीलिंग तो अपने आती है। अब उनका बच्चे ले गए, अब उन समझ के वो बच्चे हैं तो उनके तरफ से हमको दुआ मिलेगी। पैसे तो कल खर्चा हो जाएंगे, उनका तो बोलते हैं ना तुम लोग में आशीर्वाद मिलता है, तो मिलता ही रहेगा।
Across Anand, Surat and Jamnagar, or for that matter any center of surrogacy, the most commonly heard statement is we'll be blessed for life. It is with these words possibly that surrogate mothers are able to justify the commercialization of surrogacy, a give and take deal that is often a life changer for all involved.
खुशी होगी ना कि हमारे जरिए से किसी के घर में चिराग जल रहा है, उसको संतान मिल रही है। वो इस लायक नहीं है, अपने को ऊपर वाले ने दिया है ये स्थित, अपने उसकी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, वो खुशी से अपनी भी हेल्प करते हैं। हमारी मजबूरी है, इसके लिए हम ले लेते हैं, नहीं तो नहीं ले पाते कि हमारी भी काम निकल जाता है और उनका भी निकल जाता है।
मैंने 2008 में किया था सरोगेसी का, और बच्चे को मिस भी हम करते हैं, लेकिन मैंने अभी भी मैं उसके साथ कांटेक्ट में हूँ, वो भी हमारे कांटेक्ट में है, और मैंने उससे बड़े होते हुए देखा है। उसके हर महीने उसके पिक मेरे पास आ ही जाते हैं, वो मेरे पास कोऑपरेटिव रहे हैं।
जिसको औलाद नहीं है, 15 साल नहीं हुआ, 20 साल नहीं हुआ, शादी की हो गया, किसी के सास ससुर के अरे इसको क्या है तो बांझ है, औलाद होने वाला नहीं है, अब नहीं होता है तो परेशानी में कोई सरोगेट है, इसके ज़रिए से उनको औलाद मिल जाता है, हमको पैसे मिल जाता है तो हम अपना परेशानी दूर करते हैं, उनको औलाद आ जाता है, फिर वही खुशी उनके दुआ से हमको भी बहुत खुशी होती है ना, बहुत अच्छा होता है फिर।
Many are the dissidents of surrogacy who say it is a baby-making factory. They say that the surrogates are mere incubators and claim that the surrogacy industry is preying on young, unsuspecting poor women.
When they come voluntarily, they know what it is. It is by word of mouth only, like sister or a neighbor or within a family somebody has done it and they know the whole process and they come. It is a 1-year procedure. It's impossible to convince, and I would say we have to explain to them, counsel them, and after that give them time to think, and only if they are agreeable that okay, I will be able to do it, we should take them. Otherwise never convince them to do it. Number of surrogacy cases would go down, and that's why the infertile couples who genuinely need it will remain childless. We always promote adoption, but if they don't want to go for adoption, there could be divorces, remarriages, and unhappy couples living forever. And on the other hand, there will be these surrogate mothers who have this opportunity to make an earning of a reasonable amount in 9 to 10 months, which is just a compensation and which can change their lives, like buy a house, start a small in-house, some grocery shop or a beauty parlor, or educate their children, get their daughters married. That opportunity will be lost, and it will be a big loss to the society when both these things happen to the couples, to these ladies, exploitation of the girls within the family, and of course I would also mention medical tourism, which will be very low. To date, I have done about 25 cases within the family where there was a give and take of some kind of thing like buying a house or buying a car, etc. So it will be impossible, and with this small families now, one brother, one sister, it will be difficult to find someone like that. Secondly, the baby will grow in the environment where both the mothers are present throughout life. So we don't know the psychological impact on the baby and the mother who has delivered the baby and cannot even say that I have delivered you. And third, there will be too much of pressure and exploitation of young girls within the family, where even if she doesn't want to willingly or voluntarily do surrogacy for another female member in the family, she will be forced and tortured.
It is, however, the controversial cases that no one talks about, when commissioning parents refuse to take a child because it is born with abnormalities, or when a child is left without a citizenship because the commissioning parent's country does not recognize surrogacy. What happens to the child? What happens to the surrogate who now has an extra and unwanted child? What happens when there's a miscarriage? Does the surrogate mother still get her benefits? There are no clear guidelines. The Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2012 aimed to bring about some regulations, but the bill was never passed in Parliament. Now, the new draft surrogacy bill is being projected as a law exploitation of women who rent their womb for a fee. But can a blanket ban on commercial surrogacy really help, or will it just push the now booming industry underground?
One way of looking at surrogacy is that of science addressing a specific social need. For those who are pro-surrogacy, it's a win-win situation for both the childless couple as well as the surrogate mother. But giving a womb up for rent points to a specific intention. It could be money, it could be services, or it could be selfless reasons. Then the only question that remains to be answered is, who has the final right to decide what should be done with the womb? Does that right lie with the woman, with her family, with her spouse, with society? Or is it the law of the land that will decide what needs to be done with the womb?
Sitting at the threshold of the surrogacy hostel where she has spent the last 9 months, this 27-year-old is now literally counting the hours up to her delivery. She's completed her 9 months and soon she'll lose the bump and the baby. As a 3-year-old toddler crawls around her, this young woman from Chennai is certain she's not going to miss the baby in her womb, which she's been carrying as a surrogate.
आपके 2 बच्चे पहले भी हो चुके हैं, आप तीसरा बेबी होगा। आपको लगता है कि आपको देते हुए बुरा लगेगा?
नहीं, वो किसी और खुशी में अपना लिए हैं तो हम कैसे लें, हम कैसे बुरा लगेगी।
On completion of her term, this taxi driver's wife will be given a sum of 3 lakh rupees for carrying the baby, an amount she and her husband could otherwise never hope to earn or save up. The duo have big plans for the money.
जो पैसा मिलेगा उसका क्या करेगा?
ना घर, ना मकान, ना खेत, उसका भी तो देखनी है और 2 बच्चे वो लोग भी देखनी है।
आपकी मम्मी पापा को और सास को बता के आएगा?
नहीं, ये सब गांव में रहते हैं, मैं यहाँ पर रहती है ना कपसेड़ा में। मैं अपना हस्बैंड को हमारी मर्जी से हम कर रहे हैं।
घर में नहीं बताया?
अभी नहीं बताए, बताएंगे तो भी क्या करेंगे। जब पूरी करने वाला होगा तो चलो ठीक है, जब हमारी पूरी नहीं करने वाला तो हम अपना मर्जी कर सकते हैं।
Most women who agree to become surrogates are driven by extreme poverty to rent out their wombs in exchange of money. While some are unemployed, others earn a paltry 6,000 to 8,000 rupees a month. 24-year-old Jyoti, a cook by profession, is living in this hostel run by Vanch Healthcare for the last 4 months. She decided to become a surrogate when she heard that her neighbor had earned 3 lakh rupees by renting her womb for 9 months.
जब हम यहाँ आते हैं तो मैम लोग सब समझाते हैं कि मतलब ये तुम्हारा बच्चा नहीं होता, ये उनका बच्चा होता है, ये तो तुम्हें बस इतना, जैसे मान लो हमने कहीं ड्यूटी कर रखे। अब उनका तो कितने साल हो गए, जैसे किसी का हो गया 7 साल, 15 साल, 8 साल, अब उनकी बच्चे नहीं हो रहे हैं। तो जब उन्हें हम बच्चा दे रहे हैं तो उनके लिए वो 3 लाख क्या मतलब क्या लगता है उनके लिए, जब हमें उनके ज़िंदगी भर के लिए खुशी दे रहे हैं, उनके घर में हम चिराग बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो उसमें 3 लाख देने में क्या गलती है मैम? क्योंकि ये हो गया ना मैम, उनकी भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया, हमारा भी जो दुख है वो भी हमारा भी हो गया।
Even as she talks about the emotionally satisfying aspect of giving someone the joy of a child, Jyoti is almost clinical about the baby she's carrying. She's clear the baby is not hers and she's carrying it for a purpose. Even though Jyoti doesn't say it in so many words, Mandakini, another surrogate, is more forthcoming.
हाँ, मैं ज़्यादा कमाती तो मैं ये काम नहीं करती। अब मैं 6-7 हज़ार कमा रही हूँ, उसमें मेरी बच्चे की लाइफ मैं कैसे गुजारूँ, इसी वजह से मैंने की हूँ।
And this is the harsh reality of commercial surrogacy in India. 3 lakh rupees is a big amount for these families, even though when compared to international standards, it falls embarrassingly short.
To take an interview on the phone, on the Skype. So I said, I don't have Skype over.
It was the cost difference that brought 55-year-old Bharti to Anand in Gujarat.
I look after the Gujarat.
An NRI settled in the US, Bharti lost her child in an accident a couple of years ago. She chose to get a baby through surrogacy in India because it wasn't possible for her to conceive at this age. She chose Anand because the town has become famous worldwide for surrogacy and obviously doesn't cost as much as having a baby through the same procedure in the US.
Yeah, I think it's the majority deciding for the minority, especially people who have genuine problem like us who are infertile. 15% of the people are infertile. Why is such a surrogacy such a oppressive and aggressive bill? I think there should be more flexibility to it.
Or twice, whatever they want. But
the other argument against surrogacy is that IVF clinics, doctors and middlemen end up making more money than the women who actually carry the child in their wombs. With unregulated procedures being carried out at unregistered clinics, chances of exploitation increase many-fold.
अब like you are saying कि जो गरीब females हैं, ठीक, I'm totally agree with you. They are going to get 2,000 or 3,000. They works with 12 घंटे in factories. ठीक है. If you can see the health status of these females who are working with these factories and all, ठीक है, then you compare these surrogates when they enters into surrogacy, the health of these surrogates goes high. For them, this is a source of income. This is also a service because what they are giving, that is not can say कि हम उसको कहीं पे पैसे पे नहीं वो कर सकते. I don't think ये बुरा है, but हाँ, this should be regularized.
Surrogacy, many would say, is about connecting people in need. It's about connecting a woman in dire need of money with a couple who's desperately trying to have a child of their own. As criticism pours in for the government's decision to ban commercial surrogacy, it's a regulatory framework that people are now demanding. Does a woman have the right to rent out her womb? And can that decision be used by a middleman and her own family to exploit her? These are some of the questions that our policymakers are faced with. With Gopi Manyar in Anand, Simi Pasha for India Today.